right? Let them talk, let them scowl, let them throw their darts. They're not going to hurt anymore because you are too busy being you. That's what has to happen. When I look back at my life, how many times did I let people change my mood and affect me? What was I thinking? I gave my power away. So I'm saying this to remind you, don't give your power away. Stand in your light. Stand in your greatness. You were born a beautiful sphere, a beautiful universe full of love. We learn the rest. We can unlearn it. So reconnect with that beauty, the power, the inspiration, the quirks, the things that make you odd and weird and lovely and incredible. Focus on those and live in them every single day and shamelessly celebrate them. Because if you don't, people throw the crap on you and it stinks. It is heavy and it's cold and lonely. Get it off of you, right? Get it off of you and stand in your light. Hi, my name is Aubrey Lynch, and welcome to my channel, a place for inspiration, self-love, self-awareness, living consciously, and spreading love and light everywhere that you go. Have you ever felt like, even after all that you achieved, that you were not sure you really deserve to be where you are? Oh, I could stand over here and I'm not going to push myself and I'm going to just try to, I don't really belong here. Don't look at me. I'm invisible. That's no way to live. It is a real feeling. You are allowed to feel that way. Be aware of it, honor it a little bit, and then step forward despite it. And maybe it's not conscious. Sometimes we want a job really badly and we work hard to get the job and we interview and knock it out of the park and get the job and go, oh crap, now what? What do I do now? Can I really do this? And these voices start coming to make you doubt that you can do the job you tried to get. This sound familiar? Has it ever happened to you? It's happened to me. Every time. Every time I've gotten a big job, when I was at Alvin Ailey, when I did Lion King, at Harlem School of the Arts, and ADBT, I feel like, okay, here I am. You did it. Congrats. Now what? And you get scared. And then things happen. You eventually work through them. Sometimes, but sometimes you don't. And I wanted to talk about imposter syndrome. I hadn't heard of this word until I was probably in my mid-30s. And it made sense somewhat. But now looking back, I really get the idea that sometimes you feel like a fraud. And it's not like you're really a fraud, like you're not faking and catfishing the world with your abilities, unless you are. I guess some people do that. I'm talking about when you really are in your lane, you're in your skill set, and you get a promotion or a job, or you have to move to a new city and try something new, and suddenly you feel like all that you've learned means nothing. It's very common. I would imagine that some very famous people have imposter syndrome sometimes too, where they doubt their ability and they got to prove to themselves that they can do what they're doing. If this is you, be kind to yourself, okay? It's very common. You'd be surprised how many people around you feel the same way. They don't talk about it, and that's why I'm talking about it, because it's real and it can really impact the way you live your life and do your job and feel about yourself. So be kind and compassionate. You are allowed to doubt yourself. It's natural. It's part of being human. Remind yourself that those thoughts are not true. They're just not true. You want to honor them, acknowledge them, and then thank you for sharing. Sit over there. Not helping. There's another video I did called Anxiety Lies. You should check it out. It gets into that a bit more. That's one thing you can do. I try to use logic. I start to list the things in my mind that I've done. Of course you can do this. Of course you can do that. Of course you have the training. You have the skill set. You have to remind yourself who you are. Remind yourself that you arrived where you arrived because of the life that you've led. And even if you feel that where you have landed is a bit outside your ability and you kind of are a bit insecure, that's good. You want to be challenged. You want to rise to the occasion. Someone believed enough in you to give you an opportunity to try something new, try something challenging, push a little bit beyond your ability. Go for it. Lean in and make it work. Train, prepare, practice, collect knowledge, talk to mentors, take those fears, take that anxiety, take those voices, take that doubt, and channel it into action. And just take it day by day. Give yourself permission to fail forward, to learn, and push yourself through this. You're going to find very quickly that the voices are just voices. And as I said in my other video, anxiety lies. It lies like a rock. So don't believe it. Believe what is true about yourself, that you were born great, you are great, you can do whatever you want to do if you put your mind to it. Most importantly, which is the point of all of these videos that I'm creating about the self-reflection, is be aware of these things. Know that it can happen. And when it shows up, it's a part of you. It's what makes you tick. It's what churns your engine. I mean, in my situation, I want something, I achieve it, then I get afraid of it. Then I prove I can do it. That's the cycle over and over again. And if that's you, understand that part of yourself. Accept and love that part of yourself. And try not to drive yourself crazy by what would, should, could be. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, avoid that completely and just deal with what is. And if you find yourself way out of your league and you can't get trained, then that's something you gotta deal with. And that's okay too. But for the most part, I'm gonna bet that 99.9% of the time, if you've achieved something, you deserve it and you've earned it. And you wanna tell yourself that. If you hear the negative voice, counteract it with 2 positive voices. It really works if you just do that. Even if you find yourself talking to yourself, I talk to myself all the time. It helps me get through. To battle those voices, they're not real, and they may find a way to derail you. So imposter syndrome is real, perceived fraudulence is real, and you can handle this too. Also, reach out to a friend or a mentor or someone you trust and talk about it. What I do is I hire a therapist. I have a therapist and I talk to my therapist about everything. So when I'm feeling that self-doubt, I'm speaking to a professional, and I'm not ashamed of that. I have been talking to therapists for most of my adult life, and it has gotten me through some very tricky situations. So if you're feeling fraudulent, talk to someone. And they will turn the mirror back at you and say, you know something, I get it. I understand the anxiety. The job may be challenging. The task may be challenging. Your circumstance may be challenging. And you can handle it. Just one day at a time, sometimes 1 minute at a time. You're going to get through. I know that when you're in leadership, people that report to you want you to know. It's okay to be transparent that their job is to make sure that you do know. You will learn together what you don't know. I do wish that people could be more transparent about that kind of thing, because I'm sure people are feeling insecure all the time, and they just need permission to unveil and say it, and speak it out, and then figure out how to get more secure. I wish we could do that for each other, and I'm making these videos so that we can find a way to create an environment of safety where people can be their authentic selves when they're around us. As I've been in many situations where I couldn't be, and that was uncomfortable, and I don't want anyone to ever feel that way. So if you're in a place where you're doubting your abilities and maybe you're making some mistakes that are public and people are talking about them, it's okay. Let them talk. Just figure out how to do it right. Get the support you need and get through it. You don't need any more distractions. A great example is this video series. I've been talking about making videos for 10 years, literally probably since 2009, more than 10 years, whatever that is. It's a long time. I finally just said, just do it. And even in the doing of it, like, who's gonna watch this? Why am I gonna do this? I mean, turn it off. I said, I am not doing this for likes and subscribers. That would be amazing. I just wanted my voice out there because I'm hearing so much negativity and have experienced so many unhappy people who have thrown their negativity at me. And I go, there's more to life than that. There's more to life than scowling and talking about people and being nasty and conniving and strategically planning to bring people down. That is just like not fun, and it's not helping, and it's not going to make your life better. What makes your life better is love, sharing, kindness, understanding, compassion. A smile, a simple smile can change your day, whether you smile or someone smiles at you. I believe that we can do this better. We can do this differently. I don't want to believe that we're falling into some tyrannical war, world war, where humans kill humans. Again, really? It is never okay to bomb hospitals, ever. Ever. There's no justification for that. So I thought, rather than complain about the news, put my news out there. So to do that, I had to battle my imposter syndrome, because sometimes, even with my crazy life, I feel like a bit of a fraud. Like, what am I doing here? How did this happen? I swear. I sit at my desk sometimes and go, how did this happen? What am I doing here? How am I going to do this? You figure it out. You figure it out. You give yourself permission to fail. You give yourself permission to be who you are and let people eat cake, right? Let them talk. Let them scowl. Let them throw their darts. They're not going to hurt anymore because you are too busy being you. That's what has to happen. When I look back at my life, how many times did I let people change my mood and affect me? What was I thinking? I gave my power away. So I'm saying this to remind you, don't give your power away. Stand in your light. Stand in your greatness. You were born a beautiful sphere, a beautiful universe full of love. We learn the rest. We can unlearn it. So reconnect with that beauty, the power, the inspiration, the quirks, the things that make you odd and weird and lovely and incredible. Focus on those and live in them every single day and shamelessly celebrate them. Because if you don't, people throw the crap on you and it stinks. It is heavy and it's cold and lonely. Get it off of you, right? Get it off of you and stand in your light. So there is no room for imposter syndrome when you're doing that. No room for feeling fraudulent. No room for having anxiety. No room for all the things that make us, that take us off our path. Get back on the road and take it one moment at a time, one day at a time, and you will eventually get there. And if you don't get to where you really, really want to go, you will land somewhere in the vicinity. You really, really will. And you'll be happier and better for it because you stuck to your guns and you ignored all the shenanigans. Ignore them because they are in your way. And I think if you repel that kind of negativity with love, it transforms them too. And they have no choice but to join your love train. So I think it's a song, right? Anyway, anywho, yeah, I'm very passionate about this, obviously, because I get how hard life can be. Being a dancer, I've been around a lot of artists, the classic starving artists, where they're rubbing two dimes together to make a quarter and they're only making a nickel. That's what happens when you're an artist. And then sometimes you hit it big and you are success, and you can pay for your life. But I've just been submerged in a world where people can get caught in the struggle and lose sight of their inspiration and lose sight of their gifts and lose sight of who they are and the uniqueness they bring to the world. And I just believe that if we keep talking about love and light, we will tip the scales and the balance back into a better place. I do not want to believe that there are enough people that want war, that want tyranny, that want to go back to the 1950s. I don't believe that. I want to believe that we really are in 2023 and that there is AI and Mars and the stars and the ocean. There are things that we can do and things that we have yet to achieve as human beings that are going to outweigh the pettiness of people. So I dare you, stand in your light, challenge your fraudulent and be who you are, and let them eat cake. Let them do whatever they're going to do. But they're not going to be in my light. If you like this kind of video, if you like this kind of thing, please like, subscribe, comment, all of those things, forward to a friend, and help me continue to spread love and light.